On the 1st of April everyone gets a text on their phone saying April Fools. Sorry about the beginning of the year, let's retry that, and we get sent back to the 1st of January 2020. What's the first thing humanity should do? Fix the calendar and catch the hacker. You're right. I don't want to live the first 3 months of the year again. Laughs. After this AskReddit thread is dead and you come back to reality. You have an entire April to face. Lol. Forced study of pandemics. A virus is coming. And soon it will spread, but now, if we act, we can change it. He said. He told them the means and the method, and then they simply ignored him and did it again. Thank you. You have made my sprog very happy. People that don't have phones are gonna go crazy. Wait. If they didn't have a phone, would the person also go back or be stuck in a different timeline? I'm sorry, time travel is confusing. Not OP. But I think she means they would have traveled back 4 months but without being able to receive a text explaining it. People who actually got married on an if we're both still single when we're 35 we'll get married deal. What's your story? Weird couple my wife knew had such a pact and followed through. Girl was a really introverted, quiet, homely type. Sweetest girl. But she never had a boyfriend as far as I knew. And we saw her off and on for 6 or 7 years. Then suddenly out of nowhere she invited us to her wedding. Anyways, it was to a guy we had met a couple of times who was one of her friends who seemed very much like her. My wife teased her that more must have been going on all that time. But she was straight up about it. And said no. They just decided it was time. Conversation was something like, yeah. You know how people have pacts to get married if neither of them are till they hit. Well. We just decided it really wasn't going to happen for either of us. And to cut that short. Double quote. Basically we were just like, cool? And then left it at that. Anyways. She married him. They looked happy. The speeches were a bit odd. They didn't really talk about love but a lot about how they were marrying their best friend. They are still together. It's gotta be at least 5 years. And they have a little kid. Last we saw them they looked happy and that's all that matters really. Love wasn't mentioned in our vows either. I think marriage is about far more than that. We specifically mentioned kindness and respect. That said, I love my husband so much more. And in such different ways. Than I ever thought possible. My husband's vows had nothing to do with love. He vowed to eat better and go to sleep in good time. Kind of. We left our spouses around the same time, not for each other, and decided to share a house. We got to taking one night and decided we each had all the things the other was looking for. Plus we got along really well. We were in our mid-30s by then and sick of the dating scene. So we just laid it out like a business arrangement. What started off as an arrangement eventually evolved into something extremely serious and passionate. We've been together now for almost 7 years and married for almost 1. We are extremely in love and I have zero regrets. Just finished because this is my first life on Netflix. The show must be based on your life. That show really gave me a different perspective on life, marriage, and love. Highly recommend to anyone who just wants a new take on the romantic aspects of life. Obligatory, not me but a friend. Disclaimer. She married a college friend 3 years ago at the age of 33. Their bet was to get married if they're both single at 33 and the intention was to basically prank their parents by going through with it. They intended to be married for several months and then just casually mention it. And later just get it annulled. So they went to the courthouse with a pair of friends. Got married and then she moved into his apartment. Thing was they'd been friends with benefits for years when they were both single. And living together was so nice that they just stayed together. They're expecting their first kid in a few months. So they took that joke too seriously. Oh no. This is a long con. That kid is going to be the prank test kid ever.